Sikha that we'll be learning now is the Sikha for Yud-Tes Kislev. And it's interesting to note that there's another Sikha in Cheilek Chof, which is titled Yud-Tes Kislev Vayishlach. This is the one that's just Yud-Tes Kislev. Even though there is a stern, there's a star here in the bottom, it says that this is a Sikha for Yud-Tes Kislev, Vayishlach, and the connection to Parshas Vayishlach. Now, why in the other Sikha it says, in the top title it says Vayeshev also, and here it doesn't say in the top title Yud-Tes Kislev Vayishlach? The reason is very simple, because if the Parsha is a major part of the Sikha, so then it's part of the Sikha, so it's Kislev Vayeshev. Here, the connection to the Parsha is a very small connection, and therefore it just mentioned in the star on the bottom that it also shaykhs to Parsha Vayishlach, but the main Sikha is basically on Yud-Tes Kislev. And this is what the Rebbe says. Yud-Tes Kislev kum tu is alamol bismichos to Parsha Vayishlach. Yud-Tes Kislev comes out always in connection, close to Parsha Vayishlach. Whether it's in the Yemei HaShavua was Mizborchim for Shabbos Parshas Vayishlach, or it's in the days of the week that get their blessing from Shabbos Parshas Vayishlach. We know what it says in the Zohar that Shabbos Menei Mizborchim Kol Yamin, that from Shabbos all the days of the week are blessed. So sometimes it's from the after Shabbos Parshas Vayishlach, but it's still connected to Parshas Vayishlach. And in the order here, Ha'ora 1, the Rebbe writes that in that year that this Sichos was printed, the Likkutei that came out was Tovshim Mem Vov, and then it was actually within the 3 days after Shabbos, which is even closer to Shabbos before. We know that the weekdays connected, that the second half of the week, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is called Maila Shabbat. They are called before the next Shabbos. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are called Bosar Shabbat. They're called after the Shabbos before. So if it comes out within 3 days after the Shabbos, it's even closer connected to Shabbos. B'meila, when it comes out within those days, it's connected to Parsha Vayishlach. Oder in Shabbos Kodesh Parsha Vayishlach Atzma. Sometimes it comes out on Shabbos Parsha Vayishlach itself. Oder, from that we understand, since it's always in connection to Parsha Vayishlach, we understand as in Parsha Vayishlach kemen gefinne remozim, that in Parsha Vayishlach we could find remozim hints, and noch mehr ashayches, even more than just a hint, but the connection to the Chag HaGula from Yud-Tes Kislev to the Chag HaGula of Yud-Tes Kislev. And this is based like the Shalom that the Rebbe brings in many, many Sichos. The Shalom says that you'll always find a remez in the Parshas HaShavua to the days, the special days of the week. So here we must find that there must be a connection between Parshas Vayishlach and Yud-Tes Kislev. And that's how the Rebbe starts the connection. In sein Brief zu Rabbi Yitzchok Bar Ditchever, in the letter that the Alter Rebbe wrote to Rabbi Yitzchok Bar Ditchever, was der Alter Rebbe geschrieben Maruzgein dik von Tvise, what she wrote right after he came out of jail, wo is Media wegen sein Befreiung, where he notifies him to Rabbi Yitzchok Bar Ditchever about his being freed. Schreibt der Alter Rebbe zwischen andere, the Alter Rebbe writes amongst other things these words, and the Rebbe quotes the Lashon that the Alter Rebbe wrote. Kihifla Hashem, v'higdil, Hashem made a pele, a wonder. V'higdil, he went big. Laseis ba'oris, to do things in this world. V'hifli, v'higdil, shmei hagodel v'hakodesh, and his big and holy name became, the peledik way became bigger. Asher nisgadol v'niskadesh barabim, that the Eibishter's name became great and holy in front of many. Ubefrat be'ein kol asorim, especially in the eyes of all the officers. V'chol amim, and all the nations, that's in all the Medinas, the countries of the king, that they saw the Nisim, even in their eyes it seemed very wonderless, this Hafle that this happened, how this happened, and they said on this, the Sorim and the nations, the Goyim said on this, this came only from Havaya, only from the Eibush, and he flows by name. It's mamash a wonder in our eyes. I just want to mention Derech Agav, that some people wonder why is it such a thing that Alter Rebbe went out of jail is such a wondrous thing beyond nature completely that everyone was wondering. It sounds like someone was in jail and he was tried and he found innocent. A lot of people are in jail and for reasons that are not true. They're suspected in doing certain things and then they figure out that it's not true and they're freed. Why is this so special? So those that know the history know that it was almost impossible for somebody in that, with those accusations, should come out free. There's a sefer written, called in Yiddish Der Rav, written by somebody years ago in German, and Rebbe Tzadokov translated into Yiddish. It was written by a person who used to come to the Rebbe Rashab very often, and the Rebbe Rashab would tell him, and he wrote a book about the Alter Rebbe in German. And it was translated here in America by Rebbe Tzadokov. If you read that book, you see the way the matzav was, that it was in derech hateva impossible for the Alter Rebbe to get out of jail, the way things went. And B'meila, when he went out, Alter Rebbe writes to Rabbi Yisrael for all these l'shenas that we just read. Weil derech zeh schreibt in seinem Brief zu Rabbi Yisrael, the same thing he writes to another, one of the Talmidei Amagid, the Baruch Mezhebusher, who was an Einikul of the Baal Shem Tov. Similar lashon. Das heißt, it means like this: the Teichen Inyan Agula, the meaning of this Geula, Farbin der Alter Rebbe mit der Pula, das hat gehabt, if kol asorim v'chol amim. The Alter Rebbe connects it to the fact that this had a great impression, a great influence, an impact on all the officers and on all the nations. But we understand, and that's a very important thing, that this happened, that they were impressed. Aber Shas nicht Iden sehen ein Inje Pelle von dem Eibischen verbunden mit Iden. When Goyim see a wondrous thing, a major, miraculous thing that the Eibishter does in connection to Eden, und sie anerkennen as Meisa Vaya Hoyses Eis, and they recognize that it came from Hashem, he does a Me'erer, this awakens them, them, and helps them as a Ranhoges als Einke de Boy, that they should behave properly, behesem mitzivu Hashem, according to the way Hashem commanded, the way they're supposed to behave. Was Nekudosi is the Nekuda of their behavior is Kiyum Zayim Mitzvah Shalahem, that they have to keep their 7 mitzvahs. So by seeing these miracles that they saw, that's what the Alter Rebbe, they saw these miracles happened in connection to the Alter Rebbe, and made them recognize it comes from Hashem, that definitely will help them in keeping the 7 mitzvahs. Inyan Zeh, now this Inyan, which means the Virkuk von Niden of Bnei Neach and Negei dem Kiyum von Zeira mitzvahs, the fact that you could affect the Yidden and the Goyim and the Bnei Neach concerning the fulfillment of their mitzvahs is the Teichen und Nekude for Maise Shem beParshaseinu. This is the whole context of the story in our Parsha, and that's the connection to the Parsha with the story of Shem. What happened at the story of Shem? Dos Shimon v'Levi am geharge de anshe Shem. This that Shimon and Levi killed the people of Shem is given an einish, was a punishment for them, was they haben nit mekayim given zeir zayim mitzvahs b'nei Neach. It was a punishment for the fact that they didn't keep the mitzvahs b'nei Neach. And b'meile, so this is connection that Alter Rebbe went out of jail and they saw the nisim that helped them keep the zayim mitzvahs, is connected to the parsha, where for not keeping the zayim mitzvahs they were punished. And in the order 8, the Rebbe writes this is in addition to the general connection of Yud-Tes Kislev to the parsha, because in the Parsha we learn that Yaakov was saved from Esav, and not only was saved from Esav, as he said, it says, that means he even succeeded against the Sar of Esav, the Malach of Esav, and then he was made to Yaakov on the Broches. This is similar to what it says in this Parsha, in the Alter Rebbe's letter, that even the Sorim, which is similar to the Sar of Esav, even the Sorim and the Goyim also recognize this comes from Hashem, similar to what the Sar of Esav recognize that the Baruchas belong to Yaakov. But that's an Inyan Neisav, that's extra thing. But in the Pnim, the Rebbe says that the connection is because the punishment that the people of Shem got, that they were killed, is because of not keeping the 7 mitzvahs in the Neach. What's the pshat? They were killed for that reason. So he says in the brackets, whether it is because they didn't judge, didn't bring Shem to trial for what he did, for kidnapping Dino. For one von the Zayim mitzvahs b'nei is Dini. One of the 7 mitzvahs b'nei is Dini, which means that they have to judge. Chayovin laheshiv layonim. They have to have judges. Loden b'sheish mitzvah selu. In all the other 6 mitzvahs, if a goy doesn't keep it, they have to judge him. And in this case, they didn't. And that's why they all deserve to die. Shem gozal, Shem stole, he kidnapped. V'heim ro v'yodu, they saw it and knew it. V'lei knew it, they didn't judge him. The Rambam's like, that's what the Rambam says is the reason they had a right to kill them, because the Rambam says that by the Zayim mitzvahs b'nei Neach, for not keeping any of the Zayin, the goy is chayiv miseh. So each one who had the chiyuv to make sure that there are judges and they didn't, so they're all chayiv miseh. Oder wie der Ramban sagt, or like the Ramban says, for as eigene sind, that the reason they deserve to die for their own sins was they seinen by gangen noch far meise dina. Each one of the people in Shem did their own Aveirus, which each one separately deserved to die. So therefore, Shimon V'Levi was able to kill them. But the bottom line is that it's all connected to not keeping the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Neach. And that's the connection to the Alter Rebbe's Geula, that here something happened that helps them will make them keep better the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Neach. Darf aber verstehen, you have to understand, jeder Inyan, was trefft sich in Welt, die doch Bashgacha Protis von dem Eibishten. Everything that happens, even in the world. Gashmazika things, worldly things, comes from Bashgacha Protis from Hashem. We know that's the whole word of the Baal Shem Tov, that even a leaf that turns over Hashem makes it happen. So everything is b'hashgacha pratis. V'alachas kama v'kama inyan v'sis verbunden mit ihnen. Certainly, it's concerning something that happens to a Yid. Ubeshaychet to Torah mitzvahs. And in connection to Torah mitzvahs. That's even more, because when the hashgacha pratis, there are some people who held there was no hashgacha pratis on the worldly things, but on Yidden, everybody agrees there is hashgacha pratis. Anything that has to do with Torah mitzvah sure has shaychas hashgacha pratis. And the truth is, even when according to the Shitas of Hashem, which we know is the truth, that hashgacha pratis on everything in the world, he still holds that b'negei Yidden there is a deeper level of hashgacha pratis, as the Rebbe explains in a different place in Parshas Shlach in Cheilek Lamed, that by Yidden there's a different and a deeper kind of hashgacha pratis. So certainly anything has to do with Yidden is hashgacha pratis. Certainly something that happens to a nosi. And certainly if it's something that has to do with the general gila of Teres Chassidus, because when the Alter Rebbe came out of jail, that was the geula of Teres Chassidus. Asher al Kain is moving for that, we understand. As is nitschai gezogen, as der meise vergula and gekommen der Far, you can't say that the arrest and then the gula came because was malchus de lamate, because the government down here had an opinion and had a control. Even though it came because the Yidden were the ones that told the government about it, they maset, and Yidden are ba'al b'chira. But still, it can be because of what the government down here. And just to mention here that the Rebbe says, even though it came because of Malshinus, because the Rebbe is trying to bavorn here. The Rebbe is saying that definitely the fact that there was an arrest and then the Geula came milmaili, saying it can't say just because the government down here decided to do it. Everything comes from the Eibush B'Hashgacha Pratis. There must be a reason, a deeper reason. And he says, and even though it started with Yidden, so b'meila, if it started with Yidden, you could say maybe it's not milmaila so much. Because Yidden are ba'al b'chira. Yidden have free choice. Goyim don't have free choice, whatever that you mean, that needs a whole beer, but Goyim don't have free choice, Yidden have free choice. When you say you have b'chira, it means that the Eibusha lets it happen through the Yidden, it doesn't get involved, so to speak. So l'chura, you would be able to say that this did come milmato, based on the choice of people, because it came through a malshinus of Yidden. So the Rebbe says, no, even though it came from a malshinus of Yidden, and Yidden are ba'al b'chira, this is definitely not milmato. Because it was only, it seems the pshat, only a malshinus of Yidden. But the Yidden were not the ones that put him in jail. It's the Goyim that put him in jail. The government put him in jail. So it's the government. But you still, in this case, can't say it came from the government. Like the Goyim Befrat, you can't say it came from the government. So where did it come from? Definitely B'Hashgacha Pratis. So the inyan of this Meiser and the Gulak is milmailo. It's not just because the government decided. Nor der Meister ist gewähnt Yidua verbunden mit dem damaligen Kitrug auf dem Gilui von Rosen der Reise durch dem Alter Rebbe. It must be that it came because of a Kitrug Lamaila. And it came, and he says in the order 13, it says in Beis Rebbe, Likkutei Sichos, more Bariches, that it came because Lamaila there was a Kitrug on the Alter Rebbe for spreading the secrets of Torah. Hayes has Torah Atzma is Ruf the son Sosim der Reise. Since the Torah itself calls this Sosim der Reise, in Zayar, the Maramokim here in Zayar, calls this the hidden, the secrets of the Torah. So, the Mele darf sein Sosim, it has to be hidden. Und nicht herabkommen Begillah, Vigalische Torah, and they shouldn't come down out Begillah like the revealed part of the Torah. There was a Kitrik Lamaila. And in the order he brings, like the Baal Shem Tov and the Magi told the Alter Rebbe, because we know that they visited the Alter Rebbe in jail, and the Alter Rebbe asked them, "For was kommt es mir? Why did I get it?" And they told him, because you're spreading too much Chassidus, too much Sisra Torah. And the Geula is gekommen, and therefore we say, and that's the Meiser, and the Geula came to them, was his bottle geworden, der Kitruk, was bottle des Kitruk. Und der Pfarrer hat Mendola Mathe befreit dem Alter Rebbe. That's why down here they freed the Alter Rebbe, and he can't egal sein Pnimis HaTorah, Teres Chassidus, and he was able to reveal Pnimis HaTorah, Teres Chassidus. Das heißt, it means, hat die Geula von Yud-Tes Kislev, ich gewinne a Geula Ruchnis, verkloles Gilui Teres Chassidus. The Geula of Yud-Tes Kislev was a spiritual Geula for the Gilui of Teres Chassidus, which is Teres HaBaal Shem Tov. And they say Teres HaBaal Shem Tov because even though it's Teres Chabad, but it's connected to Teres HaBaal Shem Tov. We know the letter that the Rebbe Rashab wrote in the famous letter, Yud-Tes Kislev is a Rosh Hashanah Chassidus. There he writes on Yud-Tes Kislev and Chassidus Chabad. He says, he, Teres HaBaal Shem Tov. That is Teres HaBaal Shem Tov. And the Rebbe even explained that why does the Rebbe Rashab use the Loshen he, double Loshen he? because by certain things it says, if it says a double lashon, it's la'akiv. Shino la'akosav la'akiv, the Torah repeated it to make sure that this must be. So if it says he Teres Habal Shem Tov, the Chassidus Chabad, this is Teres Habal Shem Tov. So this is the Gilui of Teres Chassidus, Teres Habal Shem Tov. Uki Yedua, like it's known, Rebbe Rashab says this, as der Inyan from Yefutze meine Secha Chutze, when the Baal Shem Tov, the Mashiach told the Baal Shem Tov that when the Mashiach come, when you'll spread the well springs, your well springs of the Baal Shem Tov to the outside, which is Hafotza Teres Habal Shem Tov, which is the spreading of the Torah of the Baal Shem Tov, hat sich beikir angeheben noch the Guru von Yud-Tes Kislev. It started after the Guru of Yud-Tes Kislev. In the Orah 17, it brings interesting, concerning what we said before, that the Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid, told him, why are you in jail? Because you're spreading Pnimis HaTorah. So the Alter Rebbe asks, so in that case, when I get out of here, I should stop from saying Chassidus. So they told him, since you started, don't stop. Adarabah, when you go out, go even more. So this all adds to tell us that the whole union of the Meiser and the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev was connected to the union of spreading Chassidus. Well, if he says nit move, now we're coming to the kasha. So it's not understood. Wie kommt es as b'michtovei, b'suras hagula? How could it be that in the letter that Alter Rebbe writes in giving the good news of his release, so that Alter Rebbe aruz bringen das was die befreien gatuv geton dominion? Why would he bring out that the fact that he was released caused this inyan of hifli be'ene, hifli chula be'ene kol asorim v'chol ha'amim asher b'chol medinas hamelech. It was a pellet, it was something special in the eyes of the officers, in the eyes of the nations, at their own, all the countries. Asher gam be'neim yipol ha'dover haflo v'fel, even in their eyes it was peladik. V'onu v'omre al zeis, and they said on this, me'eis havaya hoisa zeis, came from the Eibishter, from Havaya, he niflos be'neinu. And this is a wonder and nice. Why would he bring out, when he brings out the point of the Geula, the fact that it has ashpo on the goyim? What kind of importance does this inyan have? In kolan with all the great things about it, the fact that the goyim recognize Hashem and they'll do their mitzvahs more and everything will pay. It's a great thing, but still, how important is that? Legabedem etzem geula, for the geula itself, which is gilui from klolis pnimis hatera, the revelation of pnimis hatera. Ubemela far pnimis neshamas Yisrael. It's not only the geula of pnimis hatera. By having the Geula Pnimis HaTorah, the revelation of Pnimis HaTorah, that has an effect on the Pnimis of Yidden, on the Pnimis of the Neshamas of Yidden. Was der Gilui von Sosim der Reise peil to dem Gilui von Sosim der Neshmasa. We know it says in Zayar that there are three things. There's Chebricho Reise and Israel, and each one has Sosim Vegalia, it says in Zayar. And it's understood that the Pnimis of a Raisa has Ashpoah, which is the Sosim the Raisa has Ashpoah and Sosim of the Neshama. So the Gilui of Chassidus, which is Pnimis HaTorah, Sosim the Raisa, has a pool, and the Gilui of this Sosim of the hidden parts of the Neshama reaches in the depths of the Neshama. And what does it mean practically? Ader limud HaTorah v'kima mitzvahs v'nayidin, and because of Gilui from Chassidus, that when a Yid does Torah mitzvahs, soll sein durchgenommen mit dem Munah b'Hashem v'avas Hashem v'yirosei. That you shouldn't just do Torah mitzvahs, but it should be absorbed. That Avas Hashem, Amunah Hashem, Yiras Hashem should all penetrate into your Torah mitzvahs. That's what the Gilui Chassidus did. So it comes out that this union of Yud-Tes Kislev has such an important thing of Gilui Chassidus, which affects the Gilui of the Neshama. So why would Alter Rebbe stress in his letter what was the great thing that the Goyim recognized that came from Hashem? What's so special about it? For now, the Rebbe is going to continue that maybe this is the pshat. He's going to give a reason that we could think. The Alter Rebbe is mamshich in the brief. The Alter Rebbe continues in the letter these words: "But he is eis lepela." This was a wonder. K'avaya itonu. This shows them that Hashem is with us. V'einei, there's nothing else, and Hashem is with us. And this is what we are doing, so to speak. The inyan of Chassidus, why the Alter Rebbe was arrested and put in jail. They saw from here we see that Hashem is with him, and Hashem is with this derech of Chassidus. If he says it comes out like this. This is that all the nations, all the Sorim saw this wonder. And they said, etc. It all came from Hashem. This brings out how the Alter Rebbe is right and Teres Chassidus is right. That they put him in because they were against it. This shows that this was right. So B'meila, you could say this is answered, because since the whole thing was put in because people claimed it's no good, so the main point seems out the Alter Rebbe is trying to say, now we're showing them that we're right. And that's the point of the Geula against what happened when they arrested him. B'meila, that could answer the kasha why the Alter Rebbe stressed this. You can't say this is the whole reason. Was der Alter Rebbe hat geschrieben, dem Pella Dover bei Nikol HaSorim, why the Alter Rebbe wrote that this is a wonder in the eyes of the nation, of the Sorim, the nation. Vorum number one, so them in this negate, the arichas in the Pella Sheba Agula. If this is what he's trying to bring out, it's not negated that it was a Pella. As Eir bei Nikol HaSorim v'amim Yipola Dover, that this was a wonder even in the eyes of the Sorim and the Amim. What's the negate if it was a Pella? No, the Retze Minyan, as Eir dis Sorim v'chulu, man erkennt die Gerechtigkeit von dem Alter Rebbe. If that's the point, they should have just said that even they recognize that this is true. Let them out for free. They let him free. Why? Because the Alter Rebbe was accused wrongfully. So this shows that what they were claiming against the Alter Rebbe was false. That would be enough. Number two, den Brief der Alter Rebbe geschrieben kommen zu Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchever. This letter was written to Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchever und Rabbi Baruch Mezhelbuzer. Welcher haben sicher gewusst und verstanden dem Gedel war Floas in der Gula als Gula von Teres Chassidus. They certainly understood that the Alter Rebbe's Gula was a Gula of Chassidus, the greatness of such a Gula. Und b'meile, now the kasha is, was farat fises mokim hod be'ein the Gdei Yisrael. What kind of importance does have in eyes of this Gdei Yisrael? We're talking about this Gdei Tzaddik Elyon, the Ashpos Agula of the Sorim, that the influence that this had on the Sorim and officers. Als das was is megala leina menagdim ki Hashem itonu, then this doing this it revealed, it showed in the eyes of the opposition that Hashem is with us. In comparison to the main thing of the Gula. In other words, I feel if we're going to say that the Alter Rebbe is trying to show that now we show that we're right and the kindness that they have is wrong, etc., etc. Still, we're talking about the Baditchever, we're talking about the Baruch Mezhelbuzer. They understood the real meaning of Gilui Teres Chassidus. Why would the Alter Rebbe stress to them this thing that now the Menagdim won't have any kindness because we were right? That's not the most important part. So we're back to the question, what's the reason that Alter Rebbe in the letters shows and stresses the point that this was even a wonder, a ness in the eyes of the Goyim? Und wissendig, dem Gedel Diuk and L'Shein Azov and Alter Rebbe Bechlal, knowing the great Diuk in what the Alter Rebbe's great, L'Shein Azov means the golden expressions, that the Alter Rebbe had Bechlal, which means in everything that he wrote. Usually we know that Tanya, we always say Tanya, dort, and every word is Meduyik. Avada, there's a special Diuk in Tanya, but everything that the Alter Rebbe wrote is Betachlas Diuk. The Alter Rebbe had called L'Shein Hazov, and a lot of, even not Chassidim, refer to the Alter Rebbe's Loshen, not Chassid Chabad, that B'Loshen L'Shein Hazov. So every word is Meduyik. Especially something is writing right after the Gula. So what's so special there? Because as soon as, if it's right after the Gula, then you really feel the main meaning of the Gula. Und in Abrief, was geschrieben zu Gdei Yisrael, and the letter that he wrote to Gdei Yisrael, Gdeilim eich b'pnimis HaTeirah, great also in Pnimis HaTeirah, is moving as in dem Drik Zechuis HaTeichen Nikri in the Gula von Yud-Tes Kislev. So this must bring out a special Teichen in the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev, not just a side thing, explaining what Yud-Tes Kislev is. So the Rebbe says here, Yashleim Rabbi you could say the explanation is Bahagdim, first bringing in this. Yedua, but the Baal Shem Tov schreibt in Abrief, we know this, that the Baal Shem Tov writes in a letter, as Zayndik Beichol Shel Mashiach, when once he was in the Heichol HaMashiach, in other words, when his Neshama went up Lamaila, and he went to Heichol HaMashiach, hat gefragt beim Mashiach, he asked Mashiach, Emes Haikos when are you coming? Mashiach hat ihm gent, Mashiach answered him, when your wellsprings will be spread out to the outside. Bald as der Ikerinje von der Fotzamenes von Baal Shem Tov Chutza hat sich angeheben von der Gula von Yud-Tes Kislev, and since the real spreading of the Baal Shem Tov's Teirah, Shem Tov's Mayones, started with Yud-Tes Kislev, and this is what is going to bring the Gula Sita, because it was an answer that Mashiach gave when he's coming. Kum tuis, as the Gula von Alter Rebbe, Yud-Tes Kislev is a hachone v'akdome to the Gula aklolis v'ashleme b'yas Mashiach zekenu. That the Gula of the Alter Rebbe is a preparation, akdome to the Gula of Mashiach. Since spreading Chassidus is what's going to bring Mashiach, but mainly, obviously, the Alter Rebbe's Gula, which started the real Gilui Chassidus, as we said before, that is connected to Mashiach. And B'meila, the Rebbe is going to say, when we look in what is going to happen by Mashiach coming, we'll understand what's the Iker thing of, one of the Iker things in the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev. Now, the Rebbe says, the truth is, as yeder Gula von Ayiden. Every Gula of a Yid, a fila von a Yishach di Posher, even a simple Yid, welches nit ken Baal Madrege, is not a big Baal Madrege, hat a Shayches to the Gula Klolis from Klal Yisrael, has a connection to the Gula of Klal Yisrael with Mashiach, and uses the Lashon of the Gemara, keeping the Shem Gula alo. The Gemara says in Gemara in Megillah, that any Geula, if it's called Geula, it's all connected to Geula of Mashiach. So that's number one. So even from a Poshdari, not only the Alter Rebbe and Gilei Chassidus. Und sie sich verstanden über Parshas Zetamadöver. It's very clear why the reason for it. The Teichen Agul bis Mashiach is doch B'Shaych alle drei. The Teichen Agul of Mashiach is connected to all three things, to Yisrael, Reise, V'Kutchebricho, to the Yidden, to Teire, and the Eivish. The Vechaz and the Kula Chad, they're all one. For him Kiyadua is Eich Shchinta Begelusa. The Gula that will come is also for the Eivish, because we know the Shechina is in Golas. So, since each Shechina is in Golas, when Mashiach will come, the Shechina will go out of Golas. But when a simple individual goes out of Golas and he's not limited anymore, is also the same thing. As zusammen mit der Gula von dem Eden, together with the fact that this individual Yid went out of Golas, he does Eicha Gula Protis b'negei Teira mitzvahs. That's also a geula specifically in Protis means for him in connection to this Yid. It's a geula of Teira mitzvahs. Was is and darf mekayim sein. Every Yid has to mekayim Teira mitzvahs. And if a person is in jail, he can't be mekayim Teira mitzvahs. When he's taken out of jail and he's now able to be mekayim Teira mitzvahs, so Teira mitzvahs had a geula. So the Shechina which is within in Golas, because if you can't do Teira mitzvahs, that means that the Eibishter is in Golas. So the Teira is in Golas, the Yid is in Golas, and the Eibishter is in Golas. So when you go out, when the Yid goes out of jail, it's a goal connected to the goal of the Shechina and Teira and the Yid. Certainly it's the gula by a nosi vayidin, which is niker begila with the gula at shaychas to klal Yisrael and to inyan kloli b'teira. And especially when it has to do something that you could see outright, the gilui, this is connected to klal Yisrael and to inyan kloli because it's connected to the gilui Chassidus, which is more connected to the inyan of losid love. But niden di dan kommt noch zu. Now, here we have even more. See, till now we were saying, Stam, every Yid, especially the Alter Rebbe, especially as an important thing, is negated to Gula Asida. In this comes up, adds this. At the Teichen von der Gula, a Teichen this Gula, a Gula from Pnimis Vesedes HaTeire, which is the Gula of the secrets of Teire, the Pnimis HaTeire, is ein Inyan mit dem Teichen von der Gula Asida. It's one Inyan of what Gula Asida means. Because what's going to happen when Mashiach will come? That's when the real Gilui of Pnimis HaTeira will come. The Rashi is Mefarish of Posuk. Rashi says on the Posuk, Shir Hashirim, Yishakeni Mishikas Piyu, that Hashem will kiss us with the kisses of his mouth. Ados meint say Taimeho Mister Tzvinesef on Teira. That means that with the revelation, there will be the revelation of the secrets, the Taimim and the secrets of Teira. Then Ruch Mashiach Tzidkenu will be revealed to Mashiach Tzidkenu. So here clearly, the Gula of Alter Rebbe, which is connected to Gila of Pnimis HaTeira, is very much connected to the Gula Asida, which is going to be the real Gila of Pnimis HaTeira. From that comes out, also the Alter Rebbe schreibt in sein Michtav an Alben, the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev, that this that the Alter Rebbe writes in the letter that we mentioned, concerning the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev, wegen dem Hafle v'fele eich bein kol asorim v'cholam, and the fact that even in the eyes of the Goyim, it was Hafle v'fele, it is an Inyan Ikri in der Verbund, von der Gula mit the Gula Asida. That, since the Alter Rebbe mentions that, stresses that in that first letter, shows that that prat has to do with Gula Asida. The Rebbe explains it like this. The Posuk says that like we don't Yidden went on the Mitzrayim, so too the Eibusha says, I will show you wonders in the future Gula. The Gula und die Niflois was will sein losid love. The Gula and the wonders that will be losid love is eine Bedugme zu der Gula when Niflois in the Yud-Tes Kislev Mitzrayim. They're similar to the Gula and Niflois in the days of Yitzias Mitzrayim. Nor losid love will say sein a hecher in them. They'll be in even a higher way. Niflois eich legaba nisim for Yitzias Mitzrayim. They will be wondrous even compared to the nisim of Yitzias Mitzrayim. And here the Rebbe brings in the Hora 28, brings Zeir, Priyetz Chaim. And I believe the reason he brings it because sometimes when it says the word Niflois is lower level than Nes. Nes is completely out of Teva. Niflo is something that's wondrous. So sometimes the Rebbe himself in the Sichos says that's Taich Niflois. And sometimes it says Niflois means wondrous, is beyond Nisim. And here the Rebbe Taiches, Chassidus Taiches on this posuk, there'll be wondrous Nisim, Losid Lovi, even more than Yetzias Mitzrayim. But still, the Fundus movement we understand, as a Teichen Chidush de Losid, come an uplearner from the Gilui B'Tzias Mitzrayim. So if you want to know what really is going to happen, Losid Lovi, what's going to be special Gilui, special thing by the Gula, we could learn, compare it to Yetzias Mitzrayim. So let's see what's by Yetzias Mitzrayim. By Yetzias V'Gulas Mitzrayim, it's a chuvit and a chidush, need blois b'shaychas Eden. By Yetzias Mitzrayim, something special happened, not only connection to Eden, which means normally we learn that why was there the Golus Mitzrayim? Why was there the Gula of Mitzrayim, which came from the Golus? Because this was a preparation to Matan Torah. Because otherwise, the famous Kasha Chassidus asks, why did the Yidden deserve to go to Golus? Why was there's Golus Mitzrayim? What did they do? Why did they deserve that? So it says it's not because they deserved something, because this was a preparation to Matan Torah. Kedei Yidden sollen sein royal zu Makabel sein der Torah bei Har Sinai, in order that Yidden should be worthy of receiving the Torah in Har Sinai, haben sie gemusst durchgehen und nisdachach werden in dem Kula Barzel von Golus Mitzrayim. They had to go through and be purified in the Kura Barzel. Kura Barzel is a lotion that says in Posik in Vaschanan and Golus Mitzrayim. What's a Kura Barzel? Kura Barzel is a furnace where you purify metal that you chop out of the mountain. And it's only through fire and through heat that you could take away the bad part and you leave the good part. So Golus Mitzrayim is called a Kura Barzel. It's a place, a time when the Yidden were purified. And because of that, they were royal to receive the Torah. This was the Golus, and when they finished their birur, whatever is supposed to purify them, then they went out of Mitzrayim. So number one, the union of Mitzrayim, Yetzias Mitzrayim, Gulas Mitzrayim was connected to the Yidden. They should reach a higher level. But it's more than that. The Uftu was, nor eich fade Mitzrayim gufe, it also was negated to the Goyim, to the Mitzrayim. Because it says clear in the Pasuk, that Mitzrayim should know that I am Havaya. Pare Mitzrayim Pare Mitzrayim have no connection to knowing Havaya. The Pare had gesagt, Pare said, Le yodaiti es Havaya. I don't know Havaya. When the Moshe came to tell him, David said to let Yidden out, he said, Le yodaiti es Havaya. Mitzad atzmei zayin ze shayach nor to Shem Alikim. Pare Mitzrayim are connected only to Shem Alikim. V'Yosef agizok Pare. Yosef said to Pare, Elikim yanesh leim Pare. When Yosef came and he said to him, I heard you could interpret a dream. He said, no, Elikim yanesh leim Pare. But he used the Shem Alikim. But Shem Elikim is Begmatri HaTeva. Shem Elikim is the numerical value of HaTeva. Let me just explain in a second. Everyone knows this, but it's good just to review it, even though it's very simple. We all know the difference between Shem Havai and Shem Elikim. Shem Elikim is Begmatri HaTeva. So Shem Elikim refers to the Eibishter, the way he hides himself in the nature. The Eibishter makes the nature happen, but in a way that you can't tell. The word Teva means sinking, like the word Teva comes with Tuva Bayam. The truth of Hashem is hidden, like when something sinks into the water, it's hidden by the water. So the Eibishter is hidden in Teva. Shem Havaya refers to the way the Eibishter is revealed. It's L'maylam and Teva, where you see that this comes from the Eibishter, and we see that in the word Havaya, because Havaya is made up of three words, Hoya, Heva, V'yiyah, past, present, and future, in one word. To have past, present, and future in one word, that definitely is L'maylam and Teva. So Mitzrayim doesn't know anything of L'maylam and Teva. They see only Teva. Behind it, this means like this: As Hashem Elikim is Anogi al Teva, in Velchazetzich nit on Begila der Eir Eliki. It refers to the Eibush that runs the world according to nature, where you do not see the Eir Eliki. Aber dann Hoge, was ist Hecher von Teva? Han Hoge Nisis nimmt sich Mishem Havaya. But when the Eibush runs the world, the part that is L'mayla higher than Teva, which is a Nes, that comes from Mishem Havaya, like I said before, because it's Hoye Heva V'yiyah Kechot. Und zu dem haben Pari Mitzrayim und Salem gescheiches nicht und haben in dem nicht Nasoge v'Hakore. Mitzrayim doesn't understand it. Und das hat sich aufgetan bei Gulas Mitzrayim. That's what happened by the Gula Mitzrayim. As we yoyte Mitzrayim can Yavai. Mitzrayim should know that I am Havaya. As I am bakumen a yedian der anhoge nisi shalmaylam and Teva. That's what made them understand that the Eibishter is higher than Teva, but it's verbunden mit Shem Havaya, that comes to Shem Havaya. Now, if this is Mitzrayim, and we have to learn out what's going to be in the Gula Asidah from Mitzrayim, so Bedugma Lazeh, so similar to this, nor Nafil Hecher and the higher Eifim, because it says Niflois, that Zayin der Chidush Losid Love in the future. Next, it's the Gula of Yisrael, Reise V'Gutsche Bricho, besides that there'll be a Gula of Yidden and Teira and the Eibishter, but the Seich Peilen in Welt by Alu, Mesaelam, it'll cause in the world by all the Goyim, that they will see the difference. Vi Mefurish Bekam Eksuvim, when the voice Hagula, we see in many psukim and in the voice of the Gula that there will be a change in the recognition of the Goyim. Bis wie der Rambam bringt Teich Arop in sein Sefer Halachas. The Rambam brings it in the Sefer, which is all Halachas. As Dan Yisak and Seilami, the world will be fixed. Shenemer it says, K'os epech alam and sofa bruro. I'll turn to the nations in the clear Loshen. Likrei kulam b'shem Havaya. They will all call Shem Havaya, will love the Shechem Echad. That the Goyim will recognize and see that Shem Havaya, which is higher than Teva. Und der Yud by the Gei Dumas Eilam is nicht stam Azug ob Sach zu welchem wird sicher sein wie es Mashiach. It's not an extra thing that we will be sicher when Mashiach will come. So there will be the Gula of the Yidden. There will also be some side benefit. Nor das ist verbunden mit dem Etzem Minyan HaGula. This is connected to Gula itself. Wie bald das Dämmelt wird Kviyochel der Shechina herausgeben von Golas. Very simple. Because the Shechina will go out of Golas, And what does it mean the Shechina is in Golus? The Shechina is hidden, the Leibel is hidden, but doch der mit unplugged when the Emes Havaya, but the Emes of the Leibel will be revealed in the world. As Kol HaNimtzoim, this is the Lashon of the Rambam, all the beings, Mishamayim v'Oretz u'Mashe b'Neiam, that's in heaven and earth, and what's in between, le'nimtzu elam amitis emotzei, that everything comes from the true being of the Eibishter. But amitis emotzei is the Shem Havaya, the real being of the Eibishter is Shem Havaya. That means not that Shem Havaya is beyond the world. Shem Havaya is what the Rebbe says in the order here, is Lo Shem Hava, creates. This is the nature. But the real nature of the world is Havaya. But that's not something that breaks against the nature. It's the real nature. But it's Hecher von Teva Elam, which is higher from the world. When the Father is Mutgish Benegei Losit Lovet, that's why when you talk about Losit Lovet, it says, V'niglo kved Havaya v'ro kol boser yachdav kipi Havaya diber. The flesh will see that the mouth of the Eibishter spoke, and it uses the Shem Havaya. The Gilui from Shem Havaya, v'nikl kaved Havaya, but Peil Zayin, this revelation of Shem Havaya will bring the nikl kaved Havaya. Ariya muchshiz bebosar agashmi. You will push it physically. The eye will see, the flesh will see, as amitis mitzius from the bosar, that the true being of the flesh of the gashmias is pi Havaya, is the mouth of the Eibishter, and they'll see it. We see it with Riyah. The Balzer vet bottle when der Helm verhester of Lakus Gulas Ashchina Megaluso. And now, since the Hell of Hester, the concealment of the Eibishter will be bottled, that's the Gula of the Shechina. Und sie wird unplugged werden, as the Emes and Metzias from Welt is a Lakus, Pi Havaya, and the world will see be revealed that the real Metzias of the Welt is a Lakus, Pi Havaya. But the Zayin be'efen from Mero kol Bosser. The Bosser will see, der Bosser wird sein, but then kveit Havaya mitzad the demos to get chunas und teve from the Bosser Gufe. The Bosser will see the glory, the truth of Hashem mitzad the teva of the Bosser. What he's saying here is, like we said before, it's not pshat that it'll break the teva. It'll be no more velt. It'll be only Eibishter. No, this will be shown that this is the real teva of the creation of the world. In the Meifen we see the teva betchuna from the Bosser to send im Gashmim. Just like the flesh, you see physical things. That's the teva. You'll see the teva, the true teva, which is the keich of the Eibishter. Now, l'chura, this is what happened by Yetzias Mitzrayim. We said before Yetzias Mitzrayim, the Mitzrayim recognized Hashem. So what are we saying that Losid Love will be even more? So the Rebbe says, when they dem steht einer von der Uftun and von der Gula Asida of the Gula from Yetzias Chemeretz Mitzrayim. This is one of the things that's going to be greater when Mashiach will come over Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Gulas Mitzrayim is the Yeviyah from Mitzrayim, the Yedem Mitzrayim, Kian Yavaye, Yikuman durch die Makkes Ketzabazet. There, when they recognized Hashem, it came because Eibishter gave him Makkes, which means Durbrecha Mitzrayim, broke Mitzrayim, which means this was fighting the Teva. There is a Teva of Mitzrayim, and Eibishter broke it. But Mela, they recognized the truth of the Eibishter, which is against the Teva. Then they'll see the truth of Hashem, not because it'll break the Teva, it'll be Makkes and break the Teva. Nor b'derech tikkun, that's going to fix it, show the truth of it. But like the Rambam says, will fix the world, that the world, they were all called Shem Havaya, who love the Shechamecha, they'll all worship Hashem with one shoulder, with one acceptance, they'll accept the Eibishter. But this will be the revelation of the Teva. The reason is, why is the different Losid Lovi Lagabi Yetzias Mitzrayim? Gulas Mitzrayim and Nigeven can Gula Shleime, Eich Meshunta Begalusa. Yetzias Mitzrayim was not a complete Gula, even Lagabi the Shechina. Und der Pfarrer hat das gepeilt auf Mitzrayim, welche hat gehad nor a Schwere und nicht kan Tikkun v'Sichuch. That's why when it had an effect on Mitzrayim, it only came because of breaking Mitzrayim, but not changing the Teva and recognizing that this is the true Teva. So what did it cause? Blaze an Inyan from Yediyah. They knew ki ani Havaya, that I'm Havaya. But the Gula Shleimer, the lost love of Zayin be'efun as yizdach. The Gula Shleimer, it'll be in a different way. And Loshen, he quotes Loshen V'Tanya, Sof Perek Lamed Vov, yizdach gashmis haguf elam. The gashmis itself and the world, the body will be purified. The demelt eich der bosser agashmi mitzad zayin teva zen kved Havaya. Then the gashmis, but the nature of the gashmi will be kved Havaya. Like we said before, Havaya represents the creation, and in the creation you'll see the truth that this is the Eibishter, which is higher than Teva. Now we'll understand concerning Yud-Tes Kislev. But the Alter Rebbe is madish b'mechkavei, the pulev, the story of Amim. The Alter Rebbe stresses in this the letter how the effect it had on the goyim. That they themselves said, came from Hashem, it's in the wonder in our eyes. What was that important? The Rebbe asked in the Shiur. Those was the gula of Yud-Tes Kislev zachon v'akdome. The Gula Asita canal. This Yud-Tes Kislev, the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev is a preparation. An Agdome Me'ein, it's similar to the Gula Asida. Drik Sichos, that is expressed. Neisef Besides the fact in the Etzem Gula from the Alter Rebbe in Teres Chassidus. Said before that the connection between this and the Gula Yud-Tes Kislev and Losid Love is because Losid Love is the Gila of Pnimis HaTeira and Yud-Tes Kislev is the Gila of Chassidus, which is Pnimis HaTeira. Besides that, nor Eich ve'ikir in them was Hifla Avaya ve'higdil lasses boris. In this union that has Ashpa on the Goyim, that's the real similarity between the Gula of Yud-Tes Kislev and the Gula Hasidah. And the fact that this was a pellet, this made in this world, in for the Goyim, v'hifle v'higel shmei agodel v'akodesh, that his holy name became great. Asher nisgadol v'niskadosh barabim, it became holy in the many people. Bifrat beina kol asorim v'chol amim, the eyes of the sorim and the nations. These as onav omru al zeis, they said on this keim eis havaya hois zeis. They said this from Havaya, and he stresses Shem Havaya. Adinifloyes Havaya is an eich zozei am plegivor. The wonders of Havaya, which is l'mayla mateva, which means that this is the real teva of the Welt, that was revealed to them. And that's why the Alter Rebbe stressed, because this is what the Gula Hasidah is going to be. In other words, the fact that it'll affect the Goyim, not a side thing. This is all part of what's going to be. Losit Love, Mashiach can be the Gilui Elokus, the Gilui of the Shechina. And that, automatically, this is an automatic result that the Goyim will see it. That shows how there will be the Gilui. And that's what happened by Yud-Tes Kislev. That's what the Alter Rebbe stresses. So the Chayom HaMeilav and Neskorim and Nasim, we know that the days are remembered and done. That means every year, every time it happens again, whatever happened the first time repeats itself. The Yud-Tes Kislev of the Losh of the Alter Rebbe, certainly Yud-Tes Kislev, the Alter Rebbe says, Zeh hayem yukva l'mei tmidi b'Yisrael. He said, this is a day that will be established as a Meya Tmidi, a Yonta forever by Yidden. Asher Bey is Gadol v'Yiskadash Shmei Rabba. That then the Eibesh's name will be revealed. And the Rebbe in the Orah says, look in the Tosfos in Brochas, Daf Gimel, there Tosfos says that there's one pshat in Yisgadol v'Yiskadash Shmei Rabba means, like the Machzer Vitri says, that the Eibesh's name should grow, should become big. And Tosfos says, no, I think it means the Eibesh's big name should be blessed. That means, and Baruch means Nimshach, that the Eibesh's name, which is Shem Havaya, should be Nimshach into Welt. He's moving as Bechol. So from that we understand, the Alter Rebbe uses this Lashon, as Bechol Shona V'Shona Dafaneman and Nesineskeiach V'Yiro and the Aveda Hanal, that every year we have to take a lesson in this Aveda, because the Alter Rebbe brings the Ruiz B'Mechtova that he brings out here, this Aveda that we have to know that there's Gilui of Elokus in Welt, to reveal that in Welt, the Teva of Welt is Elokus. Das heißt, that means like this. Neisev of them was the Togi that takes was Chayes vis Chaskus. In the Aveda from Nafot Samyon is Chutza. Besides that, this gives a keach, added keach and a strength in the Aveda of spreading the Mayon is Chutza. B'chol mokum shiat kolechet vechet magaz, any place that anybody could reach. Darf mezena zel zayin is gadol v'yiskadash bo rabim shmei agodol echt v'shnu meseilom. You have to see that the Eibesh's name, which is Shem Havaya, should be spread amongst Goyim. Asorim va'amim zon zen von of omer meis Havaya hoy. He says that the Goyim will see that it comes from Havaya. But this is Cheilek. This includes also Neisev of the Kiyim from Psak-Din Borush Rambam. By making Goyim see this, is what happens is, in addition to what the Rambam says, B'chlal Asiva, Meish Rabbeinu Mipri Agvura Deish, Meish Rabbeinu told us in the name of the Eibeshter, Loku v'skol boy elam l'kabel mitzvah shenet tzava b'nei neach, that we have to force the Goyim to do the mitzvahs that the Eibeshter gave to them. Biz hazezon ze mekabel zayin, that they should accept it, unton they have to do it, not because it's a good thing to do and they recognize how important it is. They have to do it. We have to make sure that they do it because Hashem said that in the Torah. And the Eibeshter told us through Moshe Rabbeinu, the Bnei Neach were told these mitzvahs, but they have to do it because of that. So that's the first thing, and you have to force the Goyim. We can't force him. We're not the Balabos. If Eden would be Yad Yisrael Tekif, you have to force him. And the Rebbe explained, why do we have to do it now? Forcing was only when it was possible. But now at least we have a chiyuv to see that they do it. So that's number one. But Neisev, but in addition to that, also, we should spread amongst Goyim the belief in the one Hashem, the unity of Hashem. They should recognize the real Gili of Hashem, Shem Havaya. The Alter Rebbe declared Baruch Sifrei Tanya Kadishim Sharichad V'Emunah. The Alter Rebbe explains the singing of Akdas Havaya in Tanya and Sharichad V'Emunah. It's interesting. I remember the first time they translated Shara Yichud V'Emunah in English. So by Fabrengen, the Rebbe said that this was also translated in English for the Goyim. That Shara Yichud V'Emunah the Goyim should learn, because it's the Inyan that the Goyim should know Akdas Havaya. But that's the tale from the Gula from Yud-Tes Kislev. This is part of the Yud-Tes Kislev. When Achona to the Gula Klolis Vashlema, and it's a preparation to the Gula Hashlema, as Agdas Havaya, vidosis la mitosa vayiden. That the Agdas Havaya, the way is vayiden, which is what? As is nitok and shum etzias chutz the Eibeshter, that there's nothing, no No Metzias except the Eibishter. Ubaloshna Ram, like the Rambam says, Hu levadei ho'emes, he's the only truth. Ve'ein la'achar emes kamitosi, there's nothing as true as him. V'hu sha'teira imeret, that's what the Teira says. Ein eid milvadei, there's nothing like him. Kleimer ein shom motzoi emes milvadei kamesa, there's no other like him. So what we have a job is that this feeling that we get, Yidden have, so eich leichtnem afursam werden zwischen Elam soll shall light and be spread amongst goyim. That we have to see to spread the goyim. They should recognize in Achdas Havaya means there's nothing but the Eibishter. But now the Rebbe has a shaila and chot as lakama day is, even though according to many opinions, eine bnei neyach mitzad atzma muzen oraf avodah zarah nit of shituv, that the goyim are only obligated not to worship avodah zarah but not shituv. Just in a moment to explain, shituv means a partnership. That means that goyim have to believe in the Eibishter. They don't have to believe that there's only one. If they believe there's another power, but as long as they believe that the Eibishter is the power on top of it, they're allowed to do it. Because this union of believing that there's no other power is only said to Eden. According to some opinion, many opinions, the Rebbe in the Order has these different maramekemis. And it's all based because where do we know that there is only one Metzias? For the Pasuk, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That Pasuk starts with the words, Shema Yisrael. This was given only to Eden. So Mela Goy is allowed to believe in Shituv. So l'chura, why are we saying it that we have to make sure that they believe in Achdas Havaya, that there's no Metzias besides the Eibishter at all? They're allowed to believe in Shituv. So the Rebbe explains, either they're Pirish in them, no, the Pshat is only as Isaiah nit muzar of them. They're not warned, which means they're not commanded to believe in Achdas Havaya. She's aber Pshite, for sure, aber Shazdi, wie sie, wer der Hert eich, by they wer der Hert eich, der Inje von Shlilas HaShituv, if they understand that there's no Shituv even, bis zu haben etwas according Achdas Havaya, as Einid Milvade, that to have some recognition that in the truth of the unity of Hashem, that there's no other Mitzvah, Einid Milvade, it does massive science, that this will add, that they will keep better. If they know that there's no other mitzvahs, it makes it even better, that easier for them to keep the 7 mitzvahs, bitala zeir, sniffing with all their branches, because in truth it's not only 7 mitzvahs. 7 are the main ones, but these 7 mitzvahs have branches. It comes out altogether, I think, about 30 mitzvahs that the goyim have. In the Encyclopedia Talmud, it goes into the details. So one thing it'll help, that they will do their mitzvahs better. That if they recognize Achdas Havaya, that make them help Yidden more in the Yidden, in the Inyonim of the Yidden, what the Yidden have to do in Yiddishkeit and Sayin, anything that the Yidden needs. And die zwei Uftuing, and these 2 things we just said, that it'll help them do their mitzvahs, and they will help Yidden also. Seinen Agdome, these 2 things is an introduction. Agdome, welch is eich mekarebes mezarezes dem zman de losid love, it brings closer and faster the time of losid love, and beide inyonim el zayin b'shleimus. These 2 things will be complete. Which 2 things? One is v'nigla k'vei davai v'ro kol boser yachid k'vei avai dibir, the cover Hashem revealed, and the boser will see. That's the first thing, that they will do more their things. And v'om the zorim v'rot senchem, it says Mashiach will come, the goyim will do things to help the Yidden. They will do the work of the Yidden. These are the 2 things we said before. Und das hier der Rufter von der Geula Yud-Tes Kislev als Achronet to the Geula Hasidah. This is the Chidush of the Geula Yud-Tes Kislev as a preparation to the Geula of Mashiach. Durch them was Hifli v'higl Shmei HaGodel v'HaKodesh. The Eibishter made his name known by the Geula Yud-Tes Kislev. Bifrat beina kol hasorim v'chol ha'amim, in the eyes of the officers in the nation, to them it was also wondrous upon wonders. So they saw as to show that nature on its own, the keach of nature, doesn't have any control. Because here they saw that naturally he couldn't go out, and nevertheless he went out. They realized these more, that they're not even a Metzias compared to the inyonim which are connected to the Eibishter. But this is the Gilui von Achdas Havaya. This is the revelation of Achdas, the unity of Hashem. This is nit mitzat Shem Elikim begematria Teva, not because Shem Elikim, which is gematria of Teva, ubemeile, was is sich mislabish in Teva. That's the Eibishter, lakus the way it's mislabish in the Teva. Nor mitzat Shem Havaya shelamaylam Teva. This comes from Shem Havaya, which higher than Teva. And as I said before, not only is higher than Teva, this is the Teva, the real Teva. And the far on the Omri, that's why they said, Me'eis Havaya hoisa zeis, he niflos beinenu. This comes from Havaya, and this is something that's wonder. This is a wonder in our eyes, and that's why the Alter Rebbe mentions this as an important point in the letter that he wrote right after he went out of Jerusalem.